heading back home from the university. It's raining just a little bit. I think you can see some raindrops on my glasses right now. Water on the road. And no people in the street as usual. And this morning I was a little bit late to the tutorial because the train was delayed. And the reason for the train being delayed, it's actually because it was derailed from what I heard from my friend. So it was derailed in Central. So I hope everyone's okay. My class finished around 1:30 p.m. and I'm just going back home around 3:30. What was I doing in between? So I was talking with a friend. I was having lunch together with a friend, a new friend. And he was so passionate about his country. He's so patriotic. And he was telling me all of this history about his country, Turkey. And it was pretty interesting, like how the country came to be, about how the country was formed and such. So it was pretty interesting. And I was listening to him for the whole 2 hours. And he was continuously talking about that topic, about his country from the top of his head. Like he wasn't even doing any researches before talking to me or such, you know. So he had been reading about that, and he had been studying about that for so long, and that's because it's his hobby, you see. So when you have a hobby, you don't need somebody to tell you to do this or to do that or anything at all, because you are going to be doing that because you love it, and that is what everybody should be doing. So he said he would be pretty good if he would be the good choice for the university's lecturer, you know, like history lecturer about his country, because he knows too much about it, and he knows all of those from learning by himself, from the books, and from researching online and such. So he did all of that by himself. It's pretty amazing how someone can improve a lot if he or she has an interest in it. So he and I met just a few days ago, and we talked just a few days ago. So, but today he said I am his new best friend, and I didn't even talk much to him. How did that happen? What happened? So I want to tell you guys a bit about how it happened. People want to talk. They want to talk about their interests. They want to talk about the things that they are passionate in. So let them talk. It's simple as that. Just let them talk. If you are a good listener, then you are going to get much more friends than when you talk. Yo, that guy's looking at me. He's always running away from me. So yeah, let them talk. So he's been talking for continuously for 2 hours, and he said I'm his new best friend. Right? I wasn't even talking much back to him, but I was pretty interested. So he said I'm an interesting person, and from what I read in Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it's a great book. You guys should read that. And from what I read, if you want to be interesting, then you gotta be interested. So I was showing interest in his passion and his hobby, and so he said I'm pretty interesting, and all I did was listening to him. Right? I wasn't even giving him much information about myself. All I did was listening to him, and he said I'm his new best friend and I'm interesting. That's how humans are. 3 trees, 2 good homes. Maybe later. People generally want to be heard. Right? They want to talk about themselves. They are more interested in themselves than to you. Right? They are not interested in you, right? Let's be honest, they are not interested in you, right? So no hurt feelings, but they are actually not interested in you. Maybe some unicorns, like maybe your family, your parents will actually be interested in you, but most people, they're just interested in themselves. So even your friends, they're just interested in themselves. So talk about them to them, and they'll be more interested in you. They will see you as a more interesting person because you're interested in them and their passion. I like this weather. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's cool, it's not too cold, but it's cool, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. The weather's really nice. It just rains a bit and then it stops. I'm home. So I want to show you guys a book that taught me how to actually make friends, and influence people. The name of the book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. So it obviously includes how to win friends. Wait. Here it is. Oh. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That's a legend. Read this, guys. Read this. The lighting's not so good today. It's still raining a bit. You can see the raindrops right there. So let's talk about friendships. How to make friends. So there's a misconception that most people think that, if you want to make friends, you have to be very good at talking, you have to be good at communication, you have to talk to people. How do you talk to people and such, right? So there are lots of questions like that. I've heard lots of questions like that. But when you actually do some researches and when you read some books about that, then you are going to notice that it's not actually how to talk to people. And I didn't know about that at all. I thought I was having some difficulties talking to people, right? I didn't know how to make friends at first. So I didn't, so I was having some difficulty, like, how do I talk to him? How do I talk to her? I want to be his friend. I want to be her friend because they are so cool and such. Right? These things happened when I was in middle school and I didn't know what to do at all, right? And the only way that I knew how to make friends was while playing football. So while playing football, I would have tons and tons of friends there, but in other things, I had no idea what to do. But I wanted to make some new friends. So I started to do some researches online, and I also started to read some books, and I noticed that I had that aha moment, right? I had the epiphany that it was not actually about talking. It was actually more about listening, about how you listen, how much you listen to other people. Because like I said, people want to be heard. They want to be listened to. They want to talk. They want to talk about themselves. They are interested in themselves only. They are not interested in you. So if you let them talk about themselves, if you listen to them, and if you're genuinely interested in them, then they're going to see you as an interesting person, and also they're going to like you much more than you talking, because you are listening to them. I had no idea what I was doing. Don't try that. Not bad, but